Thank you for being here and being a part of this journey. Let's keep it positive and respectful as we connect and grow together. I can't wait to get started. Good morning. Happy Sunday, everybody. Let's go. Welcome to Sunday Morning Coffee with me, Dustin Keto Simple, your host with the least. Anyway, we are here. Holiday chaos is upon us. We are in the thick of it. Good morning. So grab your coffee, your tea, whatever you've got. Settle in because we've got a long winter's chat ahead of us. Thanksgiving is officially behind us. Black Friday is behind us. Cyber Monday is tomorrow. Mariah Carey is screaming, "All I want for Christmas is you," from every speaker on the planet. And I'm going to be honest with you. I made 0 keto dishes for Thanksgiving this year. I had all the intention. Well, I can't say I made turkey. I made a 20-pound turkey. I had intentions to make my keto stuffing. I had intentions to make Chris Cook in Nashville's mashed potatoes. I did not make any of those things because, yeah, it's just a lot. It's a lot, and it was a lot, and I was like, I'm going to do these things, and I knew I can't say I knew I was going to not do it, but you know what I'm saying? Like, we get to the point where, you're struggling, and you're like, man, here comes all the kids. The kids went off to their dad's house. Hold on, I need a drink. Some electrolytes. I got some grape electrolytes here, ladies and gentlemen. This lid doesn't have a straw. It's supposed to have a straw, but it's somewhere, and I just threw the lid on it, and it's got some ice in it. Yeah. Electrolytes, that's what plants crave. And me, grape. Grape is the best flavor. If you want to get some grape salty, get some grape electrolytes, try salty. You can go to ketosimple.shop, and if you run to buy it anyway, buy it from me. You get 10% off. Well, right now, you're going to get up to 30% off if you buy over $300. You don't have to use my link, but hey, 'tis the season. Please use my link. But anyway, that was the turkey was the extent of my actual keto effort. So if you struggled, if your plate didn't look Instagram keto, you are not alone, not even a little bit, right? So today, in a little bit, we're going to jump into the chat with you guys because you guys are what makes this all worthwhile. But we're going to talk about today what went right, what didn't, how I'm planning to regroup for Christmas. Realistically, Shandor is going to work Christmas Day this year. Christmas Eve, for years past, we usually just go and get like 4 or 5 Costco pizzas, some cheese pizza, some pepperoni pizza, and just call it a night, right? Because then it's just low fuss. So we may end up doing that again as well. So I don't know how Christmas is going to plan out for me, but we're going to have a new granddaughter. She gets here on the 19th. She's cooking right now. She's in the oven, and that's going to bring its own level of chaos through the house. And I'm so excited for her. I can't even begin to tell you how stoked and excited I am for this girl to be here. Just, I think about her, and I think about like how we were with the first grandchild, and just the like And I know that we look back on things with rose-colored glasses, right? We look at our past with rose-colored glasses, no matter how good or bad the memory was. But I look back at that time, and I can't remember a single negative time with the baby, with the granddaughter number one. I don't think no matter what kids go through, whether it's teething or colic or whatever it might be, any of the things that kids go through, she was a dream. And it didn't matter. And you just love them, and you're excited for the time that you get to spend with them. And again, Shannon and I are going to be, with this new baby just as much as we were with, the last baby, especially when mommy goes back to work. We are going to be the primary caregivers throughout the day. And I don't understand. I'm so excited. But there's part of me that's kind of like, how am I going to grow this business that I'm working on? Continue doing the YouTube. I know I'm not gonna give up YouTube, so don't worry, folks. But I want to put more work and more effort into YouTube. I have not been putting out regular content. I have only been doing lives, some shorts here and there when something new comes out from Keto Chow, which they do have the new carrot cake flavor right here. If you are interested, you can get this right now, up to 30% off over at Keto Chow's website. You can get there via ketosimple.shop. Save up to 30% if you buy $300 or more. It's a tiered system, 10%, 20%, 30%. Black Friday is tomorrow. If you are buying things on Amazon, I have an Amazon link. You can buy whatever you were going to buy anyway. That does help me. I've made $16 in the last month. Woo! But anyway, again, as I said, on top of that, Chandra's going to be working Christmas. Our schedule is all over the place. We're basically piecing together our holidays around real life, as we all do, like all of us do, right? So let me know in the chat, what are you thankful for this year? And are you really, are you ready? Are you really heading, how are you heading into Christmas? I mean, these are the questions that a community is here for. And how are you? How are you doing? We need to make sure that we're checking on our friends, we're checking on our families, not just the ones we think need it, not just the ones we think, have things going on that they could use a little extra love. It's the ones that we think are all right that we need to check on as well. We need to check on all of our friends, all of our family, the ones that we think have it together, because they're probably the ones holding on with just a fingernail. And you never know. And I love you. I'm proud of you. I'm here for you. What do you need? Do you want to grab a drink, coffee? Do you want to go get a chat? Do you want to take a drive? What can we do for our friends and family to make sure that they make it through this holiday season? We all have friends. We all have family that don't really have anybody, and we got to make sure we're keeping tabs on them as well. So not just the ones we know, not just the ones that are kind of always on the outside and need a little extra, but the ones who seem like they have it all together. They need love and encouragement and attention just the same. So this holiday season, make sure we are reaching out to everyone that we care about and just letting them know that you do care about them. Let them know that you love them. Let them know that they are valuable to you, that they bring value and meaning to your life as well. Because a lot of our friends and a lot of our family are out there silently struggling. And that little bit of love, that little bit of encouragement, that just the knowledge that someone is there with them can mean the difference between them making it through the holiday season or not. Holidays are a joyous time, but they're also miserable for a lot of people. So we got to make sure that we are, as a community, because that is what we are. We are a community that we're checking on each other. Pay attention. Who's in the chat? Who's not in the chat? Who's normally in the chat? Who's not in the chat? Who hasn't been around in a while? And I'm seeing some good people that I haven't seen in a while, and I'm excited to see. Mikey's in the chat, and I saw Lexi. She's not in here every time. Lexi's here. I'm glad to see you. All of you wonderful people. Let's go ahead and let's dive into that chat. Evil Lynn is in the house, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning, Evil Lynn. I'm glad you got your coffee. I have my coffee. Tell me Carl's got your coffee ready to go. It's time. I saw that Rick was here much earlier, but it didn't transfer over when I went live. His comment was left behind, but I did see it this morning. Good morning. Coffee in hand. All right. But we know that Rick was here. He just isn't. I don't know. He should still be here. I just don't know if he's listening. She says, good morning, Dustin and Rick. So she saw Rick was here. Evil laugh, evil coffee. Granny Boo, too, is in the house. Good morning, Granny. So glad to see you. Glorious day, everyone. It is frigid cold here in Indiana today. We had a little bit of snow yesterday, some ice, some not the best driving conditions for Shander on her way home last night. She made it. We're good. Glad. Maniacs Gaming 6949. Good evening from the Philippines. Welcome. Glad you are here. So glad to see you. Welcome. Glad to see you from the Philippines. Add another country to the people who have come to visit me. I know I saw that Josephine is in the chat. She is all the way from Australia. Let me know if we see Rebecca from South Africa, if we see Helen from Wales, Charger Mopar Rick, who is from the other country, Miami. Oh. Let's see. John Gugahan is here. John says, good morning, Sunday friends. I hope everyone had a nice Thanksgiving. I definitely overindulged more than I wanted to, but enjoyed and got back on track on Friday. No regrets. No regrets. All right. No regrets. I have no regrets. I only had a few things. I had some homemade mac and cheese. I had some homemade mashed potatoes with gravy. Delicious. We love it. Brenda Foley, welcome. Good morning, Brenda. Glad to see you. So very glad to see you, Brenda. You have a new profile picture. I love it. I try to keep track of who is what because then that's kind of how you remember everybody. So, yes. Cindy DeManchi is in the house. Good morning, Cindy. I love you very much. I'm glad to see you. I hope Guinea Pig is doing wonderful, though he is probably still asleep. Aaron Booby Goats is in the house. Good morning, Aaron. Glad to see you. I hope you had a wonderful Thanksgiving. S.D. Bradley is in the house. Sean, my friend, so glad to see you. I hope you and your lovely wife had a fantastic Thanksgiving. So glad to see you. Welcome, my friend. John is here. John Together Strong. Good morning, everyone. Welcome. Glad to see you here this morning. Tanya is in the house. Good morning, Tanya. Glad to see you. So very glad to see you. I brought you up last night. I don't know if you were still in Granny's Grandma Crochet's chat or whatever, but we were talking about how you we like to play that game, the one-word game, to see if we can do it. Let's keep it going. I love it. Let's talk about music along with everything we've got going on. Oh, that's ice cold. Ooh. So very cold. So very cold. But delicious. Brian Dish is in the house. Good morning, Dustin and all. Welcome. So very glad to see you. There we go. It is quack time for sure. There we go. It's quack time. It's been a while, but let's go ahead and bring out our friend. Oh, if I can get him out of here. Where's he at? He's stuck. Hold on. There we go. His feet were stuck under my little computer thing, but we've got Darkwing Duck. Are we going to get dangerous, Rick? Let's get dangerous. Let's get dangerous. I need to get a sound bite of him saying let's get dangerous. Shouldn't be that hard to find. Jeff is in the house. Good morning, Jeff, my friend. How are you doing? How is Florida treating you, my friend? Jerry's in the house. Good morning, she says to Tanya, Evie, Sean, Cindy. I got to scroll. More names. It's early. It is very, very early. There's Josephine C. all the way from Australia. Cindy made it on time. I did not. That's okay. That's just how things go sometimes. You just have to be late to your own party. Make a fashionably late entrance. I'm always here and I'm always handsome. Woo! There we go. People saying hello to each other. Tanya says, good morning to all the regs, all of the regulars, all of the morning regulars, which is a tier level of membership. Should you want to become a member, please take a look at those in the lower part of the screen. If you're watching on your phone, your computer, I don't know if on the TV shows up or not, but it's there. I appreciate it. If you want to take a look at that. Oh. Jerry's a winner. What did Jerry win? What did Jerry win? People are asking. Inquiring minds want to know. What is it that Jerry won? Jerry says, yes, JoJo. I heard Wanda told me about it this morning on a message, and I was elated. Brian is here, Mr. Brian Doyle. Good morning, my friend. How are you? Welcome. So very glad to see you this morning, my friend. Squeak past the intro while starting. Blah, 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 blah. Wah, wah, wah. Sherry is here. Good morning, Sherry. So very glad to see you. How are you? Lexi Jones is in the house. Good morning, guys. How's everyone doing on their journeys? Fantastic. How are you all doing? Brian's asking who else got snow last night. We got a little bit of snow. We got about an inch. Nothing too crazy. Cindy says, no snow yet here in Kentucky. Supposed to get some later today. We shall see. Aaron says we have a possibility for snow on Tuesday. Brian got 6 inches up there in Michigan. That makes sense. Cindy says, nope, we are not getting snow, just rain. Was looking at the weather where our kids are. And Lexi says, so Cindy, I didn't realize you used a sad face. I'm doing okay right now. I've, though, decided to try carnivore again, but this time with fatty meat. I think that was my mistake last time. Fatty meat makes all the difference, because the good thing about fatty meat is you can cut back on some of the fat a little bit, but you just want to make sure you're getting a good amount of fat. Very important. Sandy is in the house. Good morning, Sandy. She says good morning from Florida. Aaron said, could just be rain. Won't know until we get closer. Yes. And Cindy would be like bah humbug holiday stuff. John Guggenheim is working on a jigsaw puzzle while listening, and of course, coffee. Yes, I missed the coffee. Here we go. I love coffee. Oh. I drank this too fast, ladies and gentlemen. I'm thirsty. Thirsty. There are 3 new tester flavors. I don't know, are they tester flavors? Are they full-fledged flavors? Kind of feel like I was left out, like I didn't get the full information. I have a packet with all the information. But I just feel like they didn't, I just didn't know enough of what was going on. There's some caffeinated salty flavors that are out. Let's see if it tells me what they are. Let's see. I'm sure it does tell me here, maybe. I don't feel like I got enough information. Like, this is what they sent us. This is the information I got. So it's not a lot. I feel like I should have had more information. But here we are. Some more water here. We'll pour into my cup because I've been really thirsty just today. All right, that's more water. That's better. All right. Coach Juliet Edens is in the house. Morning, Dustin and Chatters. And Julie Powell is in the house. Good morning, Julie. Welcome. Good morning, friends. I'm watching while snoozing. That's the best way to watch me, is while you're half coherent. I mean, I make the most sense when you're not really coherent. Mikey sent me something on Facebook. Let me take a look and see. Let me mute this real quick. All right, Mikey, let me see if it'll let me download that. I don't know if it's going to let me download it or not.
Let's get dangerous.
It's not going to let me download it. No. Mikey sent me Let's Get Dangerous. Here we go. Let's see.
Let's get dangerous.
But it won't let me download it. I'll have to. That'll work. I can still use it in a way. But, yeah. It's okay, Mikey. We'll figure it out. Patricia Hoffman is in the house. Good morning, Patricia. Thank you for joining us. Patricia says, new grandbaby. Hope all goes well. Me too. I have no doubt. But, you know, there's always a little bit of a concern anytime a new baby's coming. Brian Doyle says, I did smoke. Let's see. I smoked pulled ham for the first time. So good. Pulled ham. So like you just shredded ham. Interesting. Mikey says it's too early. You know, I think that exact same thing every week. I get on here and I get ready to go live. And I'm like, why did I do this to me? As much as I love this, every time right before I go live, I'm like, why did I do this to me? I did this to me. It was my idea to do this every day, every Sunday, 7:30. I could have been, 8:30, 9:30, 10:30. But I think 7:30 works just right, regardless of how I feel right before I start. And Jerry says, Dustin, start your pizza crust now so the day of Christmas you can have a family make your own pizza party and everyone can put all the toppings they want on your low-carb crust. Yeah, that's a good plan, too. Sorry for all I did. I talk to type all the time, yeah. Evelyn says, we went to Bobby Van's and I stayed on plan for Thanksgiving. I love it. They have no plans for Christmas. No plans for Christmas. It's true. Anyway, Aaron said, I had turkey and brisket, a couple of rogue pickles, and some green olives stuffed with blue cheese, which are not my favorite. Yeah, I love, I love garlic garlic stuffed olives and garlic pimento stuffed olives. The stuff's amazing. I love that. Cindy says, we went to Bob Evans also, ate a little stuffing, one dinner roll, got a piece of apple pie to bring home, paid the price of low blood sugar after eating the pie. Oh my goodness. So that's a question that I have. Like, shouldn't we be better suited to handle that? I mean, as a species, we're no stranger to blood sugar spikes, right? Regardless of, what we're doing, right? And I'm just curious. That's just one of those things I've always been curious about. Like, does that mean that we're kind of on the other way? I don't know. Like, there's the thing about metabolic flexibility I need to know more about. Terry Girl is in the house. Good morning, Terry. So very glad to see you. And Charger Mopar Rick says, I am here. I'm glad to see you. And John says, together strong, sharing experience, strength, and hope one day at a time. Fantastic. I love that. Rick is bragging, hot and humid here with brief rain showers. Sounds like Miami. Carl says, our good friend Carl says, brownie from Beyond Coffee from Bones with little keto brains. Yum. And Rick says, I knew it was quack time. That's right. Lexi says, I kind of messed up over the holidays, but today's a new day. They just added more vending machines at my job, though, so I guess I'll be leaving my debit card and cash at home. That's the thing is, like, I never knew that you could even, but back in my day, I had to go uphill both ways to get to a vending machine and had to mint my own coins. Anyway, yeah, we had to have coins, dollars. I mean, like, I remember when they put the dollar things into the coin machines. Or like into the vending machines, you can actually use $1, but then you're sitting there going like this, trying to straighten it out, and you're like trying to feed it in just a certain ways it would go in, it would keep spitting back out again, and yeah, first world problems. Oh my goodness. Brian is right with his computer, and he's up early with most days with Max. Well, good morning to Brian and Max. And Tanya says, yay, that woke me up. Woo! Sybil is here. Good morning, Sybil. Welcome, welcome. I don't know. Have you been here before? Let me know. Let me know, because things change people's names, and I can't remember. If it's changed your name, let me know who it used to be. You are a member, so let me know what's going on so I know what's happening. Sean's asking, who's better, Trans-Siberian Orchestra or Mannheim Steamroller? I'm going to go with Trans-Siberian Orchestra. I love it. Jeff said it's going to be a beautiful day here. Pickleball at 9. Pickleball for the win. Christian Delorme. Bonjour, everybody. Bonjour, bonjour. I love it. Bonjour. Welcome, Christian. So glad to see you. Oh, let's see. Josephine says, don't forget the thumbs up, beautiful people, the beautiful people. It's all relative to the size of your steeple. Anyway, welcome. Thumbs up. I'm only seeing 9 thumbs up, people. Let me refresh. Now is number 10. Let me see what do we got. Refresh this. 17. Let's go. We need more. We can do better than 17. Let's go better than 17. $35 people watching over on the Tube of Views. 41 total. Tanya says Trans-Siberian Orchestra in her opinion. Positive vibes from our friend in the Philippines. Welcome, welcome. Manix Gaming, welcome. Lexi says fatty meat is better than drinking butter coffee or drinking butter. I have butter in my coffee. It's delicious. Andy says, hello, everybody. Hi, everybody listening in beds, showered overnight, turned into rain. Well, I hope you are toasty, roasty, and in your nice blankie, and Susan and you are getting some good rest. And I hope that, you're loved, both of yous. And Sean says, I agree. Tanya, I agree. Kitchen, Tanya saying hello to Manuel. And he says, packing for the cruise and hoping to Sirens a few nights in Kentucky before we fly to Miami on Wednesday. Spend a few nights in Kentucky before we fly to Miami on Wednesday for the 2KK cruise. I am so very jelly that I do not get to go on a no 2KK cruise. But I am going to go see, let's see. Innisferum is who I'm going to go see on Monday. So tomorrow I go see Innisferum. They've got a song called Burning Leaves. They're playing here at the Hi-Fi. They are, let's see. Trying to figure out where they are from. Let's see. They are Finnish. They are a Finnish folk metal band from Helsinki, Finland, active since 1995. And I think I found them with their Unsung Heroes album in 2012. They've got a bunch of records. You should check them out. I will put the name of the band in the chat so you guys can see what it looks like. Stacy is here. Good morning, Stacy. Ken, we love you. I hope you're doing wonderful. Hope you're feeling better. Good morning, Sunday morning, friends. Cindy says the rest of your information is in your email from Marcella with Aspire doesn't. Yeah. It's just put it all in one place. And Andy says this weather pattern is my worst nightmare when getting close to leaving for vacation. It's going to be okay. It's going to be all right, Andy. All those dry fasters out there freaking out with all the water. Dry fasting is just one of those things. So with Jerry talking about dry fasting for like 5 days, that's crazy, right? Like, because when I first started looking at dry fasting, it was unheard of and mainstream, like what I consider mainstream. Like I'd go to do a Google search or YouTube and see a YouTube video about it for something over like 18 hours. 18 to 24 hours was like the top end. I mean, maybe people were like, if you do 3 days, that's crazy, because 1 day of dry fasting is like 3 days of regular water fasting, so to speak, right? So it's just crazy to me. Now we've gotten to the point, I've even heard like Dr. Barry saying, like if you're going to dry fast for like 5 days, it's not like that crazy. I don't know. And granted, I'm somebody, I've water fasted for 21 days. And I know it's all a matter of mind over matter to a degree, but when we're dealing with water, the fact that we need so much of it, our body is made of so much of it, I definitely would say for people who are looking to start dry fasting or water fasting, any kind of fasting, do it slow and deliberate. Be very mindful of how you're doing things. Because once you start getting into long-term fasting, then you have to also worry about how to safely break your fast. Because if you get into like what Jerry's looking to do, like a 40-day fast, coming out of your fast incorrectly could have dire consequences. There's a refeeding syndrome that can be, devastating. And so I would say do your research, start work. And I would say, the average person probably doesn't need to do that long of a dry fast. I really don't think it's really necessary for the average person to do more than 24 hours. Unless you truly have something you're trying to heal. I'm not sure. That's just me, but I worry a lot, and I'm a worrier. And I've fasted 21 days, and I've dry fasted multiple times, 24 hours. A lot of times, like, I'll just have like a weekend day where I'm like exhausted and I just sleep the whole day. And that's basically like cheating as far as dry fasting is concerned, because you just sleep like 12, 13 hours, and then you get up and you don't really drink anything. And Aaron says, I drink just as much water and coffee in the morning too. Yeah, I just need it. Shelly King is here. Good morning, friends. Going to be ear hustling on and off. I'll catch the first half hour later. Well, wonderful. Glad that you are here, my friend. Andy says, Susan is a freaking saint. We knew that already. Dealing with me. What do you mean dealing with you? We love you. Over the past few weeks, that's why I've been quiet. Well, we love you, Andy. And we're always here. Just text us. Say hello. We love you. And Sean's asking, what's everyone's go-to Christmas song to get you into the spirit? Mine's Little Drummer Boy, either by Bing and Bowie or for King and Country. I remember the Little Drummer Boy by Johnny Cash was one of those songs that really got me. I don't know, like most of like, we were listening to Christmas songs the other day in the car on the way to take the girl to school, and all those, like, Here Comes Santa Claus, Here Comes Santa Claus. All those songs, those ones that they play on the radio all the time, those are huge for me. Josephine says, 6 White Bloomers. That must be a song where she's at. I don't know. Let's see. Evelyn says, Christmas music from Pentatonics. I've never listened to Pentatonics, but it doesn't really, I don't know, it doesn't sound like something that I'd be super duper into, but I could be wrong. I've been wrong before. Aaron says, I watch Meet Me in St. Louis, and my favorite Christmas song, obviously, is Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas. I used to love Do You Hear What I Hear because of the Gremlins. Yes. Let's see. Julie Powell says, I had a very rough week, basically off plan for a week. My dad passed away on Thanksgiving. It was peaceful, though. Well, I'm so very sorry, Julie. Let us know if you need anything. We're here for you. I'm so very sorry for your loss. Our deepest condolences. Aaron says, I love Ernest Saves Christmas. We just watched that the other day. Been trying to go back and show the granddaughter all the Christmas stuff that we used to watch as kids. We were watching the Christmas Chronicles last night with what's his name? I had to look up and see who's in that. From 2018. It's Kurt Russell. Kurt Russell is in the movie. There's two of them. I guess there's a third one, maybe Christmas Chronicles 3, maybe? I don't know. But Christmas Chronicles was pretty good. It's like basically, the Santa needs your help getting, Santa to keep Christmas back on track. That thing. But Kurt Russell plays Santa Claus. And Leslie's saying, butter and coffee? Yes, melted butter mixed with water at every meal. Blah. No, I mean, really, I think that, if you're eating something to where you need to add butter to every, okay, so say you're financially restricted, right? And you buy, we bought a couple of turkeys for 49 cents a pound. There's a lot of dry white meat involved in that, especially if you're eating leftovers. You're going to add butter. You're going to add butter, a lot of butter to that, whatever. So, I don't know. Really, I think you want to be more fat than you have protein. And, 80, what is it, 80, 20, 20% protein, 80% fat, or whatever it is. Or 90, whatever it is, 90, 10, whatever, 95, or whatever, however it is. But you want to make sure you're getting enough protein, but you also want to make sure you're getting enough fat. I just think, really make sure to get enough protein and then fat as a lever to make sure you're finding the satiety. And that's kind of how I've always kind of played off of it. Lisa is here. Good morning, Lisa. I'm so glad to see you. Hope you're doing wonderful today. She says, I've got coffee by my side, curled under a blanket and crocheting while spending time with friends. No church this morning because of weather. Well, I'm glad you're spending time with us, and I'm so glad that you are cozied up in a blanket with your coffee. Here's to you, Lisa. Oh, my goodness. I love it. Yeah, Evelyn's got a point here. Going back to people we haven't seen in a while, Danny Beach, Charlie, Heath and Shelley, Maitreya, Sharon. Yeah. I imagine we're probably not going to see Heath and Shelley for a while. Maitreya's so busy with work. Charlie bumps in and listens every once in a while. I'm not sure what's going on with Danny. On Sharon Holloway, I hope she's doing okay. Check in on your friends. I hope everyone's doing all right. And Jerry says, last night on my live, I addressed that and going day one dry, 100% dry. Well, good luck to you, Jerry. And Aaron, like myself, I have all the dry fasting excuses. My throat gets too dry. I cough too much. I get cramps. Water is my thing. Yeah. I mean, for real, the idea of not having the ability to drink water if I wanted to, or have coffee for that. Like, I've gone that long without coffee, but not being able to have water, that's crazy to me. But I commend you for doing what you do, Jerry. Jerry says, only 1 day dry for starters. Yeah, I think that's so. One thing that I found when I do, like when I do extended fast, like, 7+ days, or even like when I'm doing 7, like towards the end, like the 6th and 7th day, I find that I don't feel like drinking as much water. I don't feel like, especially when I'm mixing in electrolytes, like as time goes on, like the electrolytes that I use get saltier and saltier and saltier, and I find myself cutting them more and more and more with water. So where I would normally mix like 1 packet into this, I'd be packing 2 of these with 1 packet, like 1 of these would between 2 packets, or what I mean, 2 of these between 1 packet. So I'd have 2 of these cups split. That's what I would do. It just becomes, I think it's just a salty issue, and I just drink less and less and less. And Lexi has a question. She says, has anybody had experience with carnivore helping with medication-induced carb sugar cravings? I've never been on medication that caused any kind of cravings, so I don't know if I'm the best person to answer that. So hopefully, if anybody of you out there have had these issues, please reach out to Lexi and let her know. And Lisa says, I haven't done a dry fast, but I had fasted with just coffee and water. And Jeff says, I think dry fasting would cause low blood pressure. Aaron says, I think it's time to bust out the Andy Williams Christmas records. Interesting. Jerry says, they say 1 dry fast day is equal to 3 normal fasting days. By the way, who really is they? Asking for a friend. I would say the professionals, like I would say they would be Jason Fung, all of those. Did anybody see that Dr. Boz was on let me see if I can find it. Dr. Boz was on an episode of like a gigantic like YouTube like podcast thing. Let me see if I can find this real quick. I think it's Diary of a CEO. Let me see. Yes, it is Diary of a CEO. Gigantic YouTube presence, 13.7 million subscribers with 583 videos. This person's had everybody, Mr. Beast, Michelle Obama, just the Jimmy Fallon, just the number of gigantic superstars that they've had on is crazy, okay? So let's take a look. Dr. Boz was on here not too long ago. Dr. Boz was on 6 days ago, 1.7 million views. Insulin Doctor. This is the first time of dementia, the shocking link between keto. Let's see what the keto diet is really doing to your body. So hopefully it's a pro keto thing. She's having him do talk about a sardine fast. Let's see in his recent episodes, he said Kevin Hart, sleep expert, Tim Ferriss. We know the 4-day work week. Let's see who else he's had on recently. Let's see. He's had Kamala Harris on. Let's see. Dr. Oz Perlman. Just a ton of people on there. Some very fascinating interviews that I've watched. He's had another insulin doctor on. So I don't know, like, I haven't watched all these, but like Keto Shocking Thing of the Brain. He's with Andrew Koutnick. So there's a lot of the keto is on a lot of this stuff right now. So there's within the last 2 months, he's had one person talking about insulin doctor, sugar doctor, Dr. Boz, a lot of people on in the last 3 months talking about blood sugar and insulin and stuff. So it really is coming up, really is coming into, the mainstream. Her view, like Tim Ferriss was on 2 weeks ago. He has like 500,000 views with her, and she's got 1.7 million. Yeah, Jerry knows Diary of a CEO is a great podcast. Yes, 100%. Cindy says that her favorite Christmas movie and song is White Christmas. Lisa says, I don't really have a favorite Christmas movie. I never really watched any. What? No way. All right, you got to watch Christmas Vacation. Let's see. I don't know. Violent Night's one of my new favorite Christmas movies. I love that. That's a feel good Santa Claus movie. I love it. It's a Wonderful Life, tradition. That's what Tanya says. Maritza is here. Good morning, Maritza. John is on his way to church. Have a great day, everyone. Evelyn says, I could not pick a favorite Christmas movie. There are some we watch all year round. I've seen hundreds of Christmas movies and we love them all. Like right now, Netflix has probably got about 100 Christmas movies. All those all of the Hallmark style Christmas movies that have come out. Like I think they released about 50 of them this month alone. In November, they released like 50 Christmas movies. They're all she was a blah 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 blah. She was a CEO and visits home and decides to open a coffee shop and finds the love of her life. It's about Christmas. Yeah, all those weird things. Lexi says, I found I have to eat like 85% fat to keep my ketones up so I don't have any psychotic symptoms. Any advice on which affordable and easy to find fatty meats, starting with chuck roast? And I would say ground beef, really. Ground beef, eggs. And if you're trying to keep ketones up, I would say, I mean, I know it's not really affordable, but I would say, get some coconut oil and add coconut oil to your stuff because those MCTs are really going to fire up the ketones. Especially if you're going for therapeutic level of ketones. Because I don't always say chase ketones, but in an instance like you, Lexi, I would say that you're not chasing them just to chase a number. Therapeutic ketones is really what really started off the keto thing in the first place with kids and seizures and epilepsy and all these things. But you're trying to keep keto, trying to keep ketones high. I would say MCT oil. I wish it was cheaper, but coconut oil, I mean, even if it's a tablespoon a day could help, you know what I mean? Just mix it in with your food. Yeah, I mean, keeping ketones high, like I would say, I know you're not going to be able to do probably OMAD. You're probably not going to eat enough at one time. But just try, I would say fasting. Fasting helps keep those ketones high. But yeah, I would say, yeah, just as much. Yeah. Dustin at Play is in the house. Good morning. Long time no see. I hope you're doing well, my friend. How are you? Sean says pork belly is really good cheap meat. 15 minutes in the air fryer or 400 degrees for crispy bits. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, if you get like pork belly used to be like $2.99 a pound. Now it is not anymore. Dr. Chafee mentioned you're automatically in autophagy if you're strict carnivore. I don't necessarily know. I know we're always in some level of autophagy. How much autophagy is I don't know. I don't know if we know enough just to make that statement. Let's see. Lexi says, that sounds great, Sean. I didn't know it was that easy to cook. I haven't, Jerry. Does it have a lot of ingredients or sweeteners? Jerry says, I'll give you my recipe version. It's fast. Stand by. Lisa says that I tried Joe and Rachel's sweet potato casserole yesterday. It came out amazing. And she says, I'll have a look at those. And if YouTube has them free, I will watch them. Sean says, Lexi, carnivore YouTuber Ben Gillis has a lot of videos preparing and shopping for really cheap meats. Beef is going to be not cheap. I imagine the beef is probably going to go crazy. They're saying we're going to be seeing like $10, $20 per pound beef, hamburger included. So I don't know. I don't know what we're going to do realistically. I mean, if we have okay money and we're like, I don't know how we're going to do this. I don't know. My buddy Mikey says, I love the Christmas Chronicles. That was something new, but solid family Christmas. Yeah, I like it's like, when you can have something new and it gives like this, it's the same old take, but like a new perspective on it. That's what I liked about Violent Night. It kind of gave like an idea that Santa's been doing it for thousands of years, and it's kind of like retribution for being a Viking and violent and all that stuff. And then he has to come back and utilize those skills later on. Yeah, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, all those old school ones, like the Christmas ones, the Kris Kringle and all those, and all those. Jerry says 5 eggs separated, whip whites firm, mix yolks with 5-ounce cream cheese until smooth. Add 1 teaspoon vanilla, grease a 9x9. Pour in, bake, preheated 3 oven for 25 minutes. Enjoy. So no sweeteners unless you want it, basically. Okay, so yeah, I forget about your previous gastric bypass. I forget about that. So yeah, the reason I get low blood sugars is after I eat carby crap is due to the after effects of having gastric bypass. Otherwise, eating the crap would only result in weight gain. Yeah. Yeah, gently fold yolk mixture in whites. Forget the step. Yeah. Well, like Rick says that iguana, the other white meat. Yeah. I mean, we live here. I mean, yeah, we could eat squirrel, but, I mean, there's lots of squirrels, but you're not getting not even a couple, you're not even getting a pound of meat from each squirrel. You need to catch like 10 squirrels a day. And Jerry says, yeah, it's light as a feather, and I can state that it's been my mainstay in this carnivore way of eating. And then there's the like the waffles that I have, the carnivore waffles that I make, that I have. Lexi, if you want to try those, if you have a waffle iron, they're just eggs, mayonnaise, and gelatin. Gelatin relatively affordable. I get the bag of the beef gelatin from Walmart, and it's cheaper per ounce or whatever than the bovine brand, the bovine version. So you're gonna get plenty of fat, and it's not a lot of protein, unfortunately. I mean, because realistically, each waffle is like barely an egg, but you're getting a lot of fat and kind of add stuff. You can maybe you can do whatever you want with it. Gives you something to eat like a burger patty with or whatever, and there's essentially no carbs. I mean, outside of like the like the point whatever grams of carbs in each egg. The real original that she saw was a Kelly Hogan recipe on the internet. What I gave you was my version. Smaller cake works for 2 people. Brides, Bitsy's in the house. Good morning, Dustin. Sup, firm. Welcome, my friend. I hope you're doing well. Wow, an hour in and I'm caught up with the chat. That's what I was telling Jerry the other night. I was like, she was like, I keep caught up with the chat. That's how you do it. I'm like, usually when I'm caught up with the chat, I end the stream. I'll look that up for you, Lisa. Give me a second here. I forgot all about the 65. The Black Friday, it's probably all sold out. Hold on, let me check that real quick. Hold on. I'm sure that sold out so fast. Nope, it's gone. Okay, totally forgot all about it. I was going to buy that, but I didn't. I'll bring and share my screen, Lisa, so you can see this. This is the brand of, so Lisa's asking what name of the beef gelatin do I use at Walmart? This is what I use. This is what it looks like. Yeah, it's $4.98. Yeah, it's $4.98. So it's 83 cents an ounce. And it's 5 ounces. Homemade gummies, marshmallows, jams, glazes. So I use it in my waffles. 30 calories per tablespoon, or 30 calories for every 9 grams. And the ingredients are pretty simple. It's just bovine gelatin. So bovine gelatin, and I mean, not bovine is cow. I think I was talking about, but the other one is not bovine gelatin anymore. But we'll look up that and see. So you can get their version, which is probably cheap. That's $1.56 an ounce. So like the value pack is not as cheap. So like the beef gelatin is 83 cents, whereas the great value and flavor gelatin is $1.56. Knox. Let's see. Knox is $2 an ounce. So like, I mean, there's no reason to not buy it. It's just you're gonna find Knox. I don't know if you're gonna find this in stores, but the Knox is what you're gonna find just about everywhere. And I'm trying to think what that's just gelatin, but it's pig gelatin. It's from Piggy Wiggies. But yeah, I mean, that beef gelatin's cheaper per ounce than anything else, which crazy to me that beef gelatin's cheaper than pig gelatin. Whatever. It works for me. That's weird to me. That's what it is. Weird. Rebecca is here. Welcome, Rebecca. I was talking about you a little bit earlier. Rebecca, all the way from South Africa. Hi, Dustin. Really battling to stay on track. Aren't we all? You've come to the right place. We're here. We're here for you. And Lisa's asking, where in Walmart will all the other gelatins? So in the Jello aisle, the baking aisle, the bacon aisle. Yes, this is one of those ones. It's been pretty rough for us, but I mean, our rough has been the whole season's been rough. I mean, ever since the kids have moved in, it's been a struggle for sure. And Brian's business says, "Wow, this holiday wiped me out. Still sleeping late." Yeah, I feel you. I feel you 100%. Sean says, Dustin, it's a Christmas miracle. We haven't taken you into too many tangents this stream to get you all caught up in the chat so quickly. Yeah, I like being behind in the chat because it means I have a lot to say. It means if I have a lot to say, I feel like I'm giving you something and giving you something worthwhile to be here. And Jerry says, if anybody wants to make Dr. Kilt's ice cream, that is also a very simple, but his original calls for 1 to 2 teaspoons of sugar. That is very sweet for me, at least. Marisa says, last time I bought beef, it was on sale, $3.99 a pound. I need to get like a meat grinder because I feel like brisket, like you can buy a gigantic brisket for like $4 a pound, and I can just make that into burger, right? You can just make brisket burgers, right? I don't understand why. Like, it seems like I just grind it up myself. I need to look at like a manual meat grinder, just make my own burger patties out of just brisket. Because then you don't have to worry about it being tough because realistically you just put it through a meat grinder. Yeah, at least it's not a bad price at all. Brian's Biscuit saying good morning to everybody. And Jerry says, can you add allulose? My friend Tanya said yes. And again, Lisa says, where do you find it at Walmart? I mean, what section? It's in the baking section, right with the rest of the gelatin Jello, usually towards the top of the shelf. Usually along the top row of the shelf. And I mean, even if you don't find beef gelatin, you can get the unflavored Great Value, the unflavored Knox. It's more expensive. And I know you can probably find cheaper out there. I think somebody said that they had found it cheaper somewhere, like 80 some cents, whatever, or 50 cents an ounce or whatever. I like the idea, like I can just go to the grocery and find it. I have like 3 or 4 bags in the pantry. It's not overly priced. It's a fair price for being able to just go in and buy it at the store and have it shipped to me. I don't have to go to Amazon. Amy, my good friend Amy's in the house. I'm so glad you are here, dear. How are you doing? In your face, Jerry, says Jerry. I don't know what I missed, but Jerry's like, in your face, Jerry. Yeah, Dustin says, yeah, I've used the Now brand of beef gelatin at 63 cents per ounce. Yeah, I like that. I think that would be good. If it was just at the store, I'm just lazy. And I mean, I don't want to have to order stuff. Like, I wish I could buy sodium citrate at the grocery store, but I can't for whatever dumb reason. Okay, Jerry says, okay, now I have to ask you, how were the turkeys that you bought and ordered from Amazon? What did your family think about them? Here's a butterball turkey, 20-pound butterball turkey. We ate. Well, still got one in the freezer. We'll do that one probably for Christmas. They're just a turkey, just a normal butterball turkey. I don't know anything different about them. Just turkey. 3 hours in the oven. Bride's Biscuit became a member. Fantastic. Thank you so very much for becoming a member. Welcome. Thank you for joining us. I appreciate that very much. Amy says, I'm not sure, Jerry. I'm still in bed. It was like 6 inches when I went to bed, and it was still blowing sideways. Ugh. It's 28 degrees currently, 24 miles per hour. Overcast, cloudy, but I mean, it's 9 a.m. I don't know. Again, I'm in my little hovel, my little dark room, if you will, in here, so I don't really know what it looks like outside. And I've got a light on out there, just like a desk lamp thing out there on my nightstand, basically the same as I've got back here. But so I can see that there's light. I just can't tell if it's coming from outside or not. It's almost 9 a.m. So I don't know, like, really what it looks like outside. Jerry says, I was guessing you'd be snowed in today. And Lisa says, if you make brisket burgers, Dustin, I'll be heading to Indy for sure. That's what I'd like to be able to do. I'd like to be able to, like, say, just get the cheapest beef as I can, like Costco brisket. How much can a brisket be at Costco? Costco. Oh, my goodness. Oh, let's see. Costco has... Oh, that's really cool. Costco's got some cool stuff going on right now. I can't... it's got, for members only, they've got a... it's a $220... It's a 15-inch smart touchscreen calendar and organizer. I'm guessing you hang it on your wall or whatever, and you just have an app. That's pretty awesome. It's kind of small, though, for what we would... And it's probably about the same size as a normal calendar, I guess. But, yeah, that's pretty cool, though. I kind of want one. You can make them out of, like, a Raspberry Pi, like a 22-inch monitor, 27-inch monitor. I don't know about the touchscreen side of it, but... right now, you can get for Cyber Monday, you can get an Apple MacBook, a MacBook Air laptop, Apple M4 chip built for Apple Intelligence, 10-core GPU, 8-core CPU, 16 gigs of RAM, 256 storage for $750. That's not bad for a MacBook Air. I would probably I'm going to hold out for the M5. The M5s are coming already. They've already got a couple things in M5. Yeah. I mean, I'm thinking about going with MacBook anyway for editing and doing all the things that I do here. I think that'll be just a better overall experience one of these days. So there is a firearm manufacturer called PSA, their Palmetto State Armory, and they had a they had a Black Friday, Cyber Monday weekend thing where you can buy, like, they've got a pistol. It doesn't really matter what it is unless you're actually curious. But it was $89. You get basically the pistol lower and 2 magazines. You have to buy a slide or whatever to go on it later. And they're about $300. But I was like, ooh, that's cool. My neighbor sent me the link. I was looking at it. I was like, hey, Chandra, this looks awesome. She was like, hell no, we don't need that right now. And I was like, ugh, fine. And I basically alluded to that to the neighbor. The neighbor sent me a $100 gift card for them to buy it. And I'm just waiting on that to ship to the FFL. And then I've got to eventually sometime save up enough money to buy the slide. And I was kind of thinking, I was like, it's a nice gift. It's a very super selfless, nice gift, right? Like, it's amazing. Like, something super nice for someone to do for you. And then I'm like, now I've got to spend like $700 to finish it off. Like, oh my gosh. I'm never going to be, I don't know when I'm going to be at a fiction. I don't ever have that kind of money. Oh my goodness. Cause I was thinking, like, I need to get cause you can get like 10 magazines for $250 from them. And then you get the slide for like $350. And then like a holster is like $80. And I'm like, oh my goodness, I'm never going to be able to afford that. Like, it was like it was a cool thing. And I was super excited. Then the rabbit hole, I'm like, oh my goodness. Oh yeah. Crazy. Sean's asking if I made my, let's see, we'll get to that in a second. Amy says, Dustin, you need to teach me Amazon affiliate. I'm about over it. We can set some time this week. Let me know. We can set some time if you have it in the evening or whenever we can do it. We'll sit together and we'll look it over and we'll see what we can do. Yeah. Maritza's going back to sleep. Well, hope you have some good rest, my friend. Amy says 256 is, well, that's the problem. That's the problem that I have when it comes to Apple products. But I mean, they have the Thunderbolt ports, so you can really just get a external storage, and it's going to be roughly just as fast as internal storage. Thunderbolt storage, you can go, because I mean, you're going to spend, if you wanted to upgrade to 4 terabytes, you're probably adding $1,000 onto it for like no, right? I don't even know. Like, if you go to the Apple, let's see. Let's look at the Apple MacBook Air. So the 13-inch starts at $999 on their website. So that's the one where it's so the 16 gigs, 256 SSD. You select it, and then you want to go in an upgrade, right? You want the 16 core. Let's see, the 10 core GPU 100 plus. I don't see it. 10 core GPU, 16 core neural engine, $100 more. So now you're at $1,100. So you want to get 32 gigs of unified memory. That's $400. So now you're at $1,400. You want to go, the biggest you can do right now is 2 terabytes. That's plus $800. So a MacBook Air that you could get for $750 on Amazon, or where Amazon or Costco for $750, is now $2,200 with 32 gigs of unified memory and 2 terabytes of storage. So you might as well just go with the MacBook Pro at that point instead of the MacBook Air. That's just that's the thing when it comes to Apple. That's the one thing that drives me crazy about Apple. Like Mac. Like MacBook Pro, new 14-inch with the 6. So you can get a 14-inch from $1,600. Let's go with N5. Yeah, 24 gigs of unified memory with 1 terabyte of storage. N5 is $2,000. Standard display, nano texture display. So yeah, if you want to go to 32 gigs, that's that. And then you want to go to 4, you're adding $1,000. So 4 terabytes, $1,000. So now you're at $3,219 for an M5 MacBook Pro, 14-inch MacBook Pro. That's crazy. I would just say I don't even. I know I can write it off on my taxes when I buy it because I'm using it for work and all that stuff. But come on, that's insanity. And Sean's asking, "Are you making your Christmas list?" I actually do have a Christmas list. It's not very beefy, but I do have a Christmas list at KetoSimple.shop. I do have a personal Christmas list. Some things that I need, some things that I've thought about or whatever. Nothing crazy. And I'll be adding to it over time over the next month, just as little things that I see. Nothing crazy. But Mikey says I have a Palmetto 15 minutes from my place. That's pretty awesome. I like to get it because they make a bunch of cool rifles and stuff. Yeah. And Brian Dish says, Dustin, if you're thinking about buying beef in bulk to grind, I highly recommend getting an electric meat grinder. Yeah, I would probably. It's just cost. Cost right now is the problem. Everything costs. Like we're trying to get a new roof on our house, and we've got to trade in our lease and get a new lease. Like money, and I don't know where it's coming from. Then the costs keep going up. So hopefully we'll figure something out. Lisa says, I'm not even bothering with a Christmas wish list. I'm going to give it to you. I feel you. I don't make one for the family. I don't even tell them what I want. Now that sounds all woe is me, but like, to be honest, the stuff that I want, they're not going to buy. I mean, they know I need underwear, socks, pajama pants. That's the stuff they're going to get me. They're not going to buy me the things that I want. The things that I want, I can't afford. They're not going to pay that kind of money. So it's fine. It's okay. I understand. And I'm last in line when it comes to stuff for Christmas. I am the absolute last in line when it comes to Christmas. And that's okay. I understand. Kids and grandkids and everybody comes first. I'm last in line. That's all right. It's okay. So I put together Christmas lists for Amazon, and I put them out there. It's what it is. Amy says it's going to be a small Christmas here. Dr. Barry is getting all my money. Yeah, I gave him a lot of money already. I could have bought a spec'd out MacBook for what I paid Dr. Barry. Hopefully I'm able to do something with it. And Brian says, I hope you get what you sent to Dr. Barry, PhD, back many times. Me too. I hope she does. I hope I get it. Pickled Pepsi. I don't even know what's happening. Oh, Jerry says, the reason I brought it up to Amazon was I went to your link to order a turkey for me, and they were completely sold out. Oh, my goodness. Amy says, yeah, I spent $1,400 on my Acer Nitro gaming laptop. Yeah. Yeah, 2 terabyte. Crazy. Thomas from Target Prime Rave is in the house. Good morning, my friend. I hope you are doing well. Sean's saying, what are you looking to do? Are you looking to upgrade your EDC? Yeah, I was looking because the slide's going to come with a Viridian red dot on it, like a Viridian like RMR type thing on it for like $350. So I'm like excited about that. I've never had one with that, so yeah, I really like them. I haven't had a new one in a very, very long time, and I like it because it is it's what's called a Dagger Micro, which is basically a Glock 43X clone. So it's like an inch thick, and it carries and this one has a 15 round flush mag. It's better than the Glock version, which is 10 rounds. And my current thin EDC that's like that is 9 rounds, 7 rounds, 9 rounds, something like that. I think it's 9 rounds, 8 rounds. I can't remember, something like that. But yeah. And Sean, I can always talk to you about that and chat a little bit better, a little easier to talk about it, than here on this platform. And I've got a 4 terabyte to put in my my laptop. I've got a 4 terabyte M.2 drive, a Samsung, to put in my laptop. I just haven't put it in yet, and it was like $250. So the fact that they're charging like $1,000 for 4 terabytes is ridiculous, and they just do it because they can. They do it because they can. Sounds like a limited edition Oreo flavor. Jerry says, yeah, Lisa, I guess it's a thing that some fast food restaurants, but this old guy on YouTube made a video. It made me crazy YouTube money off of it. Oh. Josephine, have a great night, dear. I hope you have some wonderful rest, and we'll see you soon. Amy says, I spent $1,400 for my 32 gig, 4 terabyte Acer Nitro gaming laptop. It's great, runs OBS, and DaVinci was a solid. Yeah, that's an awesome purchase. Yeah. Well, so the thing that I like about Mac is when it comes to video editing, Mac is going to blow PC out of the water almost every time. It's just not upgradable, and it drives me insane. But again, then it's always a tax write-off. Like every time I spend $3,000 on a Mac, I can write that off on my taxes because it's for work. I mean, it's going to be for video making. It's going to be for all the things. It's all going to be for work. I don't do much on my laptop or in my little office that's not at least to do with something for this community, work in general, learning stuff. I don't game with my laptops. I don't do any of that stuff. Jerry says, I buy brisket burgers from QVC and they are delicious. What do you pay for burgers from QVC? That's a question. What are you talking about, Sean? Hey, you could really sell the pajama pants, Dustin. Just start walking around in your underwear. They are definitely spring. They will definitely spring for pants to get you covered. Yeah, I mean, the things that I know I'm going to get for Christmas, there's always underwear, but we always get pajama bottoms, pajama pants, especially these days where, I mean, that's predominantly what I wear around the house with pajama pants. So I got those. I got some shorts to wear, like pajama shorts to wear around the house. And then they usually give me something. We'll see what happens this year. We'll see. I just don't put together a Christmas list. Evil Lynn says, I bought my own Christmas gifts. Certain to get what I want. And I get to open it easy. Keto Chow and Bones coffee. Fantastic. I love it. Jerry says, Amy and Dustin, I was talking about doing something like you just spoke of where we get together. I'm always available for that kind of stuff. Just reach out and we'll figure something out, do a group text or whatever. You guys have my phone number. Thomas is trying to keep his nose clean. Well, get you some toilet paper. That helps. Kevin from Tuber Chat's in the house. How are you doing, my friend? Good to see you. Jerry says, golly knows that WhatsApp that I brought you on with me turned out to be a bust. I don't know. I just think not everybody is truly involved or really wants to dig so deep into the minutia of everything that it's understandable. Not everybody's super interested in like the deep diving of everything. So, you know. Lisa says, for Thanksgiving, I just bought a cooked turkey breast at Kroger. Didn't need a whole turkey. True. Tuber Chat Kevin said, shared on Reddit and thumbs up. Thank you, my friend. I hope you are having a wonderful day. Hope you have you're Canadian, so you didn't have Thanksgiving, but I hope you had a wonderful weekend and spent time with your family anyway. Brian says, I think the mini PC are the way to go than the cheap laptop network to the mini. Yeah, like I've been looking like I kind of would like a Mac Studio. Like a Mac Studio, but they start at like right now the Mac Studios don't really have like the Mac Studios don't have M5s in them yet. Like you can get they have an M4 Max and an M3 Ultra. So like the Mac Studios are behind. But like for $4,000 you can get, let me look at this. For $4,000 you're getting 28 core GPU, 60 core GPU, 32 core neural engine, 96 gigs of unified memory for an M3 Ultra. That'd probably do anything and everything I would need for the next 5 to 10 years. 2 Thunderbolt 5 ports on the front, 1 terabyte SSD storage. You can even upgrade for $1,500 to an M3 Ultra chip that has 32 cores GPU, 80 cores GPU, 32 core neural engine, 256 gigs of RAM. Oh my goodness, that would be insane. That's $1,600. You can get 512 gigs of unified memory. Oh. You can get 16 terabytes of storage, $14,000. Oh my goodness. $10,000 if you go with the 4 terabytes, 2 terabytes, $9,899. 1 terabyte SSD storage, $9,500. My goodness. 512 gigs of RAM. With an 80 core GPU. That would be insane. Man. Amy says, Brian, my problem with the Mini is I need something with an attached monitor for work and travel. Mini PCs are easy to carry a monitor around. I have a laptop with a monitor extender that is easy to throw a laptop bag. Yeah. Evelyn says, I found out too late that carrot cake keto trail has cinnamon in it. That will be the only order of that flavor. Well, what if Carl likes it? What if Carl likes it? Well, so unfortunately in this the cinnamon was tucked in the natural flavors. And we found out because we reached out to Chris and he was able to confirm that it does in fact have cinnamon in the natural flavors. So yeah. Lisa says, I wish I could have gotten some of the Keto Chow carrot cake flavor, Evelyn. It's still available. You can still save up to, well, I mean, you're going to spend $300, but you can still get 30% off using, or 10, 20, and 30% off using my link if you so choose. And Amy says, yeah, I have that. I can also remote into my work laptop, but it's hard to pull things across 3 monitors when you are RPD'd. Yeah. Evelyn says, come visit. I'll give you a couple. That's what I'm talking about. Karen Harrington is here. Good morning, all. Slept in today. That's okay. And Cindy says, Avalon, I did not see it in the ingredients, nor did I taste it in the product. Not a cinnamon fan myself. Now, one question I have is there an amount that causes issues for you, Evelyn, or is it any kind of cinnamon? Because I'd imagine that that if it's tucked in natural flavors, then it's probably a super small amount. So I'm just curious, what does cinnamon do to you, Evelyn? And Lisa says, deal, Evan, save me some room to crash for a night too. Yeah, and Amy says, I also, when I live stream from my kitchen, it has to be on that computer, not a remote desktop. I just thought what I needed all in one scenario. I couldn't be running the live stream on a desktop in my office from a laptop in my kitchen. Brian Dish is not a Mac fan. I'm not a Mac fan for most things. But when it comes to video editing, Macs are superior. There's just things Macs can do that PCs aren't fast enough with yet. Now, really, when it comes to gaming, PCs are going to be better overall, but Macs are for work. And if I can make it, because realistically, what I would be buying this for is to work, edit videos. If I can speed my workflow up and edit videos faster, because even right now my computer is not so bad, but like there's times where like it's super slow and I have to like really work down on things, and it's just blech. I wish it would be easier, but it's not. Yeah, and Evelyn says, it's okay, Cindy. I'll still try it even though it may hurt. Amazon has reduced shelf life 76.24 ground beef on sale for $2.50 a pound a few times every month. I stock up then and freeze. Well, let me know what's happening. Sean says, I've never been a big carrot cake fan. I didn't get any. Mikey says, at that point in spending, you're better off building the last gen Threadripper rig there, like 64 core for $400. Well, let me know. Let me know what's going on. I just like the idea that like Macs are just going to work. And I know like like the M4s and N5s are just crazy quick for that kind of stuff. Like just workflow with video editing. And I don't have to mess with it, because I've had bad luck with PCs because, yeah, like it just seems like nothing really works that well together, and it's irritating. And Amy's asking, where's the ground beef from? Whole Foods? Is there a shipping fee? I guess it just depends. I mean, if you're a Prime member, then depending on what you spend, there probably isn't shipping. Chances are it's not coming from Whole Foods, but they have a whole like, when you start digging into Amazon, they've got their hands in everything. Carl says, in order to be respectful with those allergens, we try to stay cinnamon-free household. If someone had a nut allergy, we would be a nut-free house. I understand that. And Bry's Biscuit says Whole Foods is partnered with Amazon Fresh by me, Amy. They deliver for free with a $35 minimum. Yeah, I mean, chances are if you're buying ground beef at $2.50 a pound, you're going to be spending more than $35. Risa is in the house. Good Sunday, all. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Super glad to see you. Yeah, and Amy says, yeah. Let me know, Bry's Biscuit, any way you can, because I'd like to get a bunch of ground beef and stock up because hamburger's my favorite. I mean, $2.50 a pound is good. It'd be nice to get a good cheap brisket and just grind it up myself. Brisket down on the farm. Because I imagine with what I'm working with right now, my laptop cost me $1,300 from Costco. It was a $1,600 laptop. I got it in 2022. I got a little bit of money when my grandmother passed away, and I was able to update and get me a laptop. I don't know when I'd be able to upgrade my stuff right now, but like just the idea of something, because eventually in the next year or two, next year probably, this is going to be not fast enough to run what I'm trying to run it with. Trying to do live streams and edit video and everything. It's going to just kind of zonk itself out. So I'm just trying to keep an eye open for things, and I've been looking for PCs and stuff, and like I think realistically the only thing like MacBook Pros are going to be the only thing that are going to be able to deliver what I need it to deliver for at least a reasonable price, because I don't need like crazy, as long as it's going to work well. I don't need something crazy. I don't need a Mac Studio that's $10,000. You know, I mean, realistically. I mean, maybe one day if I'm actually making decent money. But, you know, I don't even make like this the monthly, like right now that's a $10,000 or whatever and it's $800 a month for 12 months. Like, yeah, I don't make that basically in a year on YouTube. I don't make $800 almost a year on YouTube. You know, that's just the way it is. Evelyn says, any cinnamon causes blisters where it touches inside my body, mouth, down, esophagus, through stomach, and all the way out. I can touch it, but if I have an open wound, it would blister. That's crazy. Because cinnamon's just tree bark. That tree bark does that to you. That's so weird that the human evolution is like that. Like, well, most people can touch tree bark, but not you, Evelyn. That's just messed up. That your skin's like, you know what? Not tree bark. Sherry says, Sunday morning is the only morning I don't sleep in. My internal clock wakes me up at 5:30, where normally I sleep until at least the sun comes up. LOL. I love cinnamon. I like cinnamon too. I wouldn't like it if it caused me to blister. I'd probably not be a fan of that at that point. Amy says, I have to have a PC for my day job because our software does not run well on Parallels or Boot Camp on Mac. Yeah. And I just don't do anything really like, I would probably still keep a PC. I don't know. That's the problem. It's like I want to run Android, and if I got a MacBook, then I'd probably have an iPhone too. I don't know. I need to figure it out. I just need PC to get their stuff together. Brian's Business says they do have good sales a few times a month for nearly 50%, maybe 50% off. So I do get some stuff here and there. They have Teton Ranch, which is super clean. Yeah, Teton stuff is okay. I'm a cheap person. I like the cheaper hot dogs. And Amy says that's how I am with even small amounts of gluten. Risa says there was a 2-day sale at ShopRite Friday and Saturday. If you spent $20 in all, you could get 3 packages of grass-fed Australian beef for $9. So I took advantage. That sounds about like a good plan. Bry's Biscuit says, I was an OEM system builder From 1982 to 2013, my kids love me now. Their rigs are on point. I just like my laptop right now is a Ryzen 9 with a GeForce RTX 3050. It's a Lenovo little, like, it's basically for creators, but still, like, I still have trouble trying to go live and having it recognize like the camera that I use or like the Rodecaster and all these things. It just, nothing likes to work all together. And I'm sure that there's problems with Macs that have similar things, but you know. Yeah. Irritating. Lisa says, a friend of mine gifted me 18 pounds of ground venison, so I got my freezer full with it. That sounds awesome. Bridesmaid says, Mac does blow PC out of the water and corporate it owned. Well, I think, like, as far as gaming and stuff, PC still wins, but like just if I wanted to open my Mac, like to open up my computer and start editing a video, I feel that I'm going to get better performance out of even like even entry level MacBook than I am with what I've got. And I'm not a person trying to say that, you know, what I've got isn't good, but it's just, you know, that. Yeah. Amy says, I built my Dell server from an old decommissioned Dell motherboard from my last job. They were throwing them out. Okay. Arisa says, I've got the day off, so I'm starting my gift wrapping. Hanukkah is 2 weeks away. That's crazy. Bryce just says, dude, you're getting a Dell. Yeah, that guy. I remember. Oh, my goodness. Yeah, Carl says, whenever we go out on a hike, I got to remember and remind her not to lick the trees. Yeah. Yeah, Risa says, good morning, Lisa. I am going to try and get some of the holiday food gifts done today. I only have one of the day off this week and need to do shopping that day. Oof. I need to go to Costco maybe today, but I don't want to leave the house. It's cold and windy and gross. Ugh. And Evelyn says, we were just talking about the powder that Keto Chow is. If it gets airborne and I breathe it in, I would just inflame my sinuses. You just start cooking like, you know, like the guy from Breaking Bad, you know what I mean? The hazmat suit. Amy says, I'm over Windows. Windows 11 crashed my 2021 purchase computer, put Linux on it, and it runs fine. Yeah, Windows 11 is, yeah, I think that's probably the bigger problem. I think the machine I have probably be better if the software put on it was better. Bry's Business says AMD Threadripper systems are insane, but their CPUs alone start at $4,000. Agreed, Amy. Windows 11 is this decade's Windows Vista. I remember my buddy got an early copy of Vista, and it was codenamed Longhorn, and he was super excited. And he was like, "This is crap." It was buggy, and they never released a better version. Oh my goodness, coffee is delicious. Brian's Business says Whole Foods sell beef bones too if you like to make your own beef broth. So my buddy that I work with when it comes to YouTube and content creation and stuff, his wife is a manager at Whole Foods, but one that's not one. If she works at a one I don't go to though, unfortunately. I probably should start going to hers. I don't really go enough really to make it much of it. You know what I mean? Amy says, I can't leave the house today. Let's see. Risa says, Dustin, I am totally staying in today. Too cold for my tiny body. Oh my goodness. I imagine I'm a big person and I'm like, it's cold. I don't want to put pants on and boots to go out. No, thanks. John Beatty's in the house. Good morning. Mac versus PC. The debate continues. I just feel like if you're making music, if you are editing video, if you're doing anything super creative, that Mac is probably going to be your best choice. Even though PC is going to be more affordable to some degree. If you're gaming, PC is obviously going to be the way to go. Like I had a PC and it was just awful for editing video. And it was a water cooled. It was a Ryzen 9, 32 gigs of RAM. Had a 2070 whatever in it. It was a decent machine. But for editing video, it was just awful. Every video, I had it shut down like 3 times, every video. So I ended up trading that for a new hard drive to my son. He wanted a new PC to play games. And I was like, I paid like $800-900 for that computer from my brother-in-law. Probably more. I forget, maybe $1,200 for that PC or whatever. It was probably still a good deal for what was in it. But I told my son, I was like, you just get me a 4 terabyte Samsung M.2 drive, you can have this. And like he's running, he's like, it's like maintaining 120 frames per second on his game, and it's working flawlessly. And I'm like, yeah, for games, PC works good. Try to boot up, DaVinci Resolve, and it's like, no. It's like a smoker trying to run a block. Evelyn says our local butcher just started selling tallow. I hope it's good. And Bryce Bishop says, seriously, I worked in corporate for 3 decades. Production users chose Mac 10-1. Yeah. And John says, yeah, the best computer is the one that works for you. And I mean, this is what I have. So I've got the Lenovo, the 2022 model Lenovo. I mean, it works. It's the best one I've got. It's the only one I've got. And it's what I have. But I'm looking at the future. I'm like, well, what is available to replace this with should I need to? And it looks like, everything kind of points to Mac because I can never find, like, the downside is all the things on a PC that I don't care about adds money, and I can't find things without it. Like, I don't need all the RGB, all the fancy. I just want it to work. I just want it to work. I don't need all the fancy gamer stuff. Carl says, I switch all my PCs to Linux unless I need to run some software that requires Windows, and I put up Windows and cuss a ton every time I touch that computer. I wonder if switching this computer to Linux would make it run faster, better, because I can run a Linux version of Resolve. I imagine there's a Linux version of Chrome. That would basically be everything I need. I don't know. Jerry staying home. It's online internet church for me today. Braz Biscuit says, I was a PC user, but only because I could never afford a Mac. They are so much more stable, though, performance aside. Yeah, stability, just, yeah. Did I miss something? Let's see. Lisa says, I had to drive out in this hot mess this morning to take my son to work, only 931 was decent. Otherwise than that, the roads and winds are awful. Ugh. Brian's business says Vista, ME, and 2000 were all trash. XP, like Windows 95 and XP, were the goats. Yeah, just got to have someone spec build it to what you need. Yeah. Ugh. Brian's business says my kids require the LED bling. Really? Because everything that I see, I mean, and maybe it's just because I'm looking at Mac reviewers or whatever, people who typically review Mac, but they're always showing like benchmarks blowing out, you know. The performance specs have heavily changed in the last 5 years. Mac is trailing. I don't know. Like everything I see is like they're all integrating AI into things and making AI do a bulk of the work. And I'm like, just give me like realistic stuff so I can run my video editing and I can run it and edit video and scrub through and not have it crash on me. It's irritating. Yeah, Brian's business says XP the GOAT, Windows NT for server side. Yeah, it's crazy. Oh. Amy's got to go. Amy says, I got to run, spend some time with my hubby. Have a great day, everyone. Well, have a great day, Amy. Reach out later and we'll talk. And Jerry says, I pay from QVC for Rustelli's 14 5.3 ounce Wagyu Kobe beef burgers. For Rustelli's. I don't know why I started playing volume. That's ridiculous. Something like that at all. Burgers $81, so 14.5. Wait, how much is that? $82 for 14. So Bride's Biscuits versus Mikey head to head. Yeah, workstation use. That's what I mean, because I don't care about gaming. I use Adobe Express, which is browser based. I use Canva sometimes, but I don't pay for Canva. I use the free version. I use DaVinci Resolve. It's really all I use. Like, yeah. Yeah. You guys are crazy. How much is that, though, Jerry? 14 5.3 ounce Wagyu Kobe style beef burgers. I gotta bring up my calculator. I can't do math like that. So let's see. 14 times 5.3 equals 74 divided by 16. That's 4.5 pounds. Divided by 81. Let's see now. $4.64. That's $17 a pound. Right? Am I right about that? $17 a pound That's crazy. That's crazy talk. Brian says, as far as I'm concerned, Windows NT and 7. Windows 7, I remember we used XP at my office until, I don't know, 7 didn't come along for a long time. And then we skipped 8. It was 7, and then we went to 10. And then I left before 11 came out. I didn't know you were rich, Jerry. I didn't know you were rich, Jerry. Oh, my goodness. I don't need Wagyu. I don't need it. Just ground beef for me. Well, Jerry's rich. That's good to know. Write me in your will, Jerry. Well, anyway, thank you all so very much for being here. I appreciate my time that I get to spend with you on Sundays. We're 2 hours in. I think I'm going to let you guys go for the day. Relax, stay warm. Enjoy it with your friends, your family. And I love you. We'll get through this holiday season together. Again, make sure to be reaching out to those that you care about, that you love, regardless of how well you think they've got things handled. Reach out to those you haven't heard from in a while. Reach out to those that you do hear from on a regular basis. Just make sure that they know that you love and care about them, because you never know how they may seem that they've got it all figured out, but they're hanging on by a thread. With that, I love you guys. I can't wait till next Sunday. Tomorrow starts December 1st. Today's the last day of November. 1 month left of the year. It's crazy to think. But anyway, thank you all so very much. Thank you to Bride's Biscuit for becoming a new member. Thank you all for being here. And with that, here come those credits.